So, Star Wars Episode 7 left us with a lot of questions. Therefore, people took to Reddit to come up with a lot of theories. And the core two that I'm going to be talking about today are who is Snoke and who are Rey's parents. So, I have compiled a list of theories for each of those two questions, and I'm going to tell you the possible candidates and whom I think is the best of those candidates. So the first question I'm asking is, who is Supreme Leader Snoke? So there are about 4 core theories that I think have some true merit and value to them.
So the first theory swirling around is that Supreme Leader Snoke is Darth Plagueis. So those of you guys who don't know who Darth Plagueis is, he was Darth Sidious's master who could use and will the Metachlorianites to save those who he loved and himself from death. Supposedly he was killed by Sidious in his sleep, but as people are saying, he could have used the Metachlorians to keep himself alive. And stuff to back this up is that Snoke appears very tall in Episode 7, and Plagueis' race, the Moon, were very tall. But the major plot hole is that J.J. Abrams has said that Metachlorians are irrelevant in this new trilogy, and that's basically what Plagueis' core thing is, Metachlorians, so that is a key plot hole in it. The second theory is that Supreme Leader Snoke is the Grand Inquisitor from Star Wars Rebels. So we know that in the end of the last season, he fell into a burning pit. And because he'd have a lot of damage to his head, and he'd have the huge scar like Snoke has. So that's some physical proof, because from looking at him. But there's a key plot hole, which is that Snoke is supposed to be really old and have great use of the Force, and, well, the Inquisitor just kind of got owned by Kanan and Ezra. He's clearly not as powerful as Vader, and I doubt they'd make a key villain a villain from the kids' animated series. I don't know. That doesn't make too much sense. It's a nice thing to think about, but in reality, it makes no sense why Lucasfilm would even come close to doing that. So the next theory is that Darth Vader is actually Supreme Leader Snoke somehow. Because if you go and look at the pictures from Episode 6 where Vader was unmasked, he has a scar at the legitimately exact same place that Snoke does. So that's some physical proof, and we know that there was a scrapped idea for a Vader and Anakin hybrid Force Ghost for The Force Awakens that supposedly got scrapped. Now, there's not much evidence on why this would happen or how he'd still be alive. And I'm not feeling too solid with that one. Maybe it's just like an Easter egg or a callback. Who knows? I don't know. And then the final theory about Snoke is that he's just a totally new character. I mean, Andy Serkis has said that Snoke is aware of the old films, but he is a totally new addition to the stories, a totally new character. And yeah, this is the most logical answer. But it is nice to theorize that he's somebody else, that he's somebody we've already met or heard about. And maybe Reddit has actually got it right, like with Batman vs. Superman. They were all saying, hey, Michael Shannon Zod is gonna become Doomsday, and they're right. Doomsday's gonna be in the movie. So maybe Reddit is getting it right. So my next question is, who are Rey's parents? So there are a few core theories that are swirling around that I think are relatively reasonable. So the first theory is that she is Han and Leia's daughter, because apparently people are theorizing that Kylo and Rey are trying to be the equivalent of Han and Leia's children, Jacen Solo and Jaina Solo, from the extended universe. And as we saw in the movie, Kylo is dark and he was feeling the pull of the light. And in the extended universe, Jacen did master both sides of the Force, the dark and the light, to create the unifying Force, which made him this super Jedi with ultimate Force power that went beyond any Jedi or Sith Lord we had ever seen. So the second popular theory is that she is Luke Skywalker's daughter. I mean, it makes sense, and I feel like it's probably the most likely of all the candidates on the theories. Because, as I said earlier, the midichlorians are irrelevant, so she has to be related to somebody with the Force. Because there's no midichlorians, it's passed through a relation in blood, not particles that control everything. But I don't know, there seemed to be some odd reaction there at the end. I feel like it probably just makes the most sense with the way the trilogy is already going. So my last theory is that she is related to Obi-Wan in some way, as she heard both young and old Obi-Wan when she picked up the lightsaber instead of like Luke or Yoda. But her first interaction with the Force was Obi-Wan's voice when she picked up the lightsaber. I mean, also her clothes do resemble Obi-Wan's, but they also resemble Luke, so we shouldn't be basing our theories off clothing. I mean, I feel like that really can cause some major holes in our theories.